guys, it's Myiesha from the Sephora Pro team, and I did another lash video for you guys because I just love lashes and you guys have lots of questions. So this one is all about stacking your lashes, how to properly cut your lashes and make a custom lash. It's all about virtual artists, basically like sort of a next level lash video. So let's get started. So the first thing you'll notice, I have a bunch of lashes in front of me, some House of lashes that I'll put on, some Hudas. So these are really gorgeous and they have a really sort of dramatic flair to them, but the band is a little bit thicker on any dramatic lash that you wear, and there's a little bit of a learning curve sometimes as to how to put them on. So there's a few things that I do. So you want to take them out of the case, and these are the Lanas by Huda, by the way, the number 10s. You can sort of prep your lash a little bit. So again, like in my last video, I'm just going to smooth it off of the tray. I don't want to pull at it because you don't want to pull any fibers out of the lash and mess them up, and just kind of gently take them off the tray. So I know my eyes, I know that these are the right length for me, but if I were to cut them, I'd cut them from the outer edge only. And sometimes when you have a lash that's a little bit thicker, it's sort of not so flexible in the beginning. So there's a few things you can do. So I have a brush right here, and this is just a powder brush. So what you can do is wrap it around. You can wrap it around a brush, and that'll sort of give it a little bit more curve. Say you take your lash off the band and it's really straight and you have a really round sort of curvy eye, you can do this for maybe an hour or so, even overnight, whenever you know you're gonna wear your lashes, and that's gonna give your band a little bit more flexibility. So when you put that on, it's a bit easier to wear. There's something else you can do as well. You can put a layer of glue on the lash and just let it sit. Let it sit overnight, let it sit an hour, however long you want to, because 2 layers of glue together are going to stick better than just 1 layer of wet glue and then your skin. Kind of like if you ever get lash glue in anything in your makeup bag, everything sticks to your lash glue. It's the same sort of idea. By putting this lash glue on and sort of letting it sit and letting it get really tacky and just turning into total rubber and drying, and then when you put another layer, when you're ready to put them on, they're going to stick really, really easily for you. So there's that as well. So when you're choosing different styles of dramatic lashes, you want to think about your eye shape or what you want to do in the end. So for me, I like a really flared lash. For me, the reason is my eyes are a little closer together. When you look at the rest of my features, so close set eyes. So I always want a lash that has sort of a flare to it and sort of goes out on the edge and gives me that sort of wing shape to kind of complement the cat eye that I always do. So that works really well for me. Say you have a really sort of smaller eye and you want a lot of sort of like movement in the middle and you want your eyes to be really big, open, almost doll-like, you would go for sort of a rounder lash like this, the Lanas. So if you look at the Lanas versus the Sashas, you can sort of see these flare out a little bit more. They're a little bit spikier. They're going to give you that lift in the outer corner. These are a bit rounder and they're the longest in the center, so they're going to give you more of an open sort of wide look. So I would say those are the 2 basic things you want to look for when you're shopping for a dramatic lash, sort of round versus flared. So now to put them on. So I already have a pair of lashes on, and for me, I find that when you're wearing these dramatic lashes, it's actually easier to put on sort of a natural pair of lashes first. The reason being is sometimes when they're a bit thicker, sometimes the ends are a little hard to get on. They sort of pop off a little bit. So if you have something underneath, it's sort of like fills in everything and you get a nice sort of seamless bond. So now I'm going to apply my lashes. Like I said, I already have sort of a natural pair of lashes, natural for me, what I like to wear every day. They're the Everlasting lashes from House of Lashes, and I'm going to be putting on the Lana lashes. And again, I've let the glue dry completely because I want those 2 layers of glue that are going to ensure that it stays on really nicely. Again, I'm using House of Lashes glue, and I'm just going to paint this on real quick. I'm gonna hold my lash in the center. You can use tweezers if you want. I actually use my hands and a brush, and I'm just going to pop it right on the center. Put on the center, then I'm gonna close my eyes slightly and sort of push it into place. Now this is just resting right on top of the lash I have on, so it's going on so much easier. Sometimes I've tried to put these on, thicker sort of lashes on without anything underneath, and it's much harder. So you can see this is a big difference. This is a really cool big lash. It's rounder in shape, so it's making my eyes look really big and open versus flaring out so much. And you really see the difference when I put on the sashas. So putting on the sashas, putting a little bit of extra glue on. And remember, these flare, so these are gonna open my eyes up sort of at the outer corners. So I'm just gonna pop these on right in the center, close my eye a little bit, and just sort of press it into my eye. 10 times easier when you already have a natural lash underneath. Okay, so those are in place. So you can see that this one flares out a bit more. You can see more of my lid space as well. So if you have really beautiful eyeshadow on that you want to showcase, you should probably go with something that flares out more versus goes up. This one's really great for sort of a smoky eye, or if you want your eyes to look big and round. You can't see as much of my lid space, and that's sort of the way my eyes are shaped, but in general, it's way thicker in here, and it's not flaring out as much. So as far as dramatic lashes go, I would say just kind of think about that when you're choosing them. If you are still sort of curious about what shape of lash you can wear, you can download the Sephora app if you haven't already, and then if you go to the browser bar, you'll see something called Virtual Artist, and there you can try on lashes, like actual lashes we carry, and see how they look on your eye. I sat there and tested them and put them on people's eyes and took pictures and took notes, and we went and like had the guy draw them. It was this whole big awesome process, so you can actually try on lashes without fear of commitment or actually trying to struggle to get them on. It's something really cool you can do. And I'm going to show you how to cut up a lash. You can sort of take lashes you already have and make something different, so you get like sort of like a 3-in-1 thing with a couple pairs of lashes that you have. Sometimes you'll cut the edge off of one lash because it's a little bit too big, but you can add it to another lash. There's so many different things you can do, and we're going to show you exactly how to do that. So I'll be working on the Huda Giselle lashes, and I like how wispy they are, but I wish they were a bit more flared and thicker on the outer corner. So what I'm going to do, and I just like to I put a little bit of eyeliner on them already, but I just want to put a little bit extra to make sure the lash band is nice and black. It's much easier to do it when it's on the tray versus your eye. And I cut up a little bit of a lash here, as you can see, a few little pieces. I kind of want to go with this bigger flared piece, but even those little end pieces you tend to cut off your lashes and people just throw away. You can add that to your lash to flare it out a little bit more. And the cool thing about this is if you were going to throw this little piece away anyway, it'll just add a bit more drama to the lashes that you're about to put on. And because you're only adding to the outer corner, it's going to give you drama, but you're still going to have comfort. You're not going to have a ton of thick lashes in the inner corner that are going to bother you. And it's a really beautiful look. So use your tweezers, use your nails, your fingers, whatever you want, and just push it up into the lash line, basically until it dries, only on the outer corner. And you can see the difference between the two lashes. This is really beautiful, really flared, and this is really pretty, really wispy and sort of like ethereal, but it gives it a little bit more. Now, if you wanted to stack an entire lash, I'll be using the Velour Lash Fluff and Thick. You could go ahead and do that as well. Remember, use your thumb and just sort of pull the lash off really gently so you don't tear or rip it. Same thing. I'm going to fluff it up a little bit. I'm going to cut off these little tabs on the corners with my scissors and layer. So again, you want to layer lashes, either the same lash for thickness or different lashes, so you can get sort of a hybrid. This one's wispy, like I said. This one has sort of like a mink look to it, but it's flared out on the corners. So it's going to give a really, really beautiful look. Whichever one is softer, I would recommend putting on the bottom, because that's the one that you're going to be feeling the most towards your lash line. And just put a little bit of glue on it. You can even put a little bit of glue on the actual band that's on the tray, because you can always peel them off if they get stuck, which they will get a little bit stuck. And just sort of take them and layer them. If you find it's too hard to layer them on your actual eye like I did, you can do this instead. Take your tweezers and just make sure you push it up so you can't see any of the lash band. And you have a few seconds to work if you do it immediately. And just sort of mesh the two, and as they dry, they'll sort of stick together. I love doing this to create a custom lash. We have so many lash styles, but this is a way you can have a one-of-a-kind lash that's just for you. Really awesome for makeup artists or just makeup junkies that want to create sort of like that custom cool look for their clients. And now you have this really cool 2 different lash styles. This is really wispy and sort of flared out on the corners. This one is like ultimate, like fullness, thick, and still has that really beautiful wispiness on the corners. So I know you guys asked about bottom lashes as well. I know Halloween's right around the corner, so there's really not much to it. And I don't have any actual bottom lashes, which I'm just going to show you with some regular lashes. So these are the House of Lashes Seductress. And I find for bottom lashes in general, if they're not made to be actual bottom lashes, you want them to be spiky. If they're too round, sometimes they don't really do anything for the eye. But as far as costume makeup is going to go, I find spiky works really well. And I also find anything that's a little bit longer on the outer corner looks really cool. So like I said, these aren't actual bottom lashes. I just want to show you what you would actually do if you wanted to wear a pair. So you have your lashes, you have your left and your right pair, right? So if you were to take, let's take this right one. So if you're doing bottom lashes, your right lash would become your left lash. So this was right side on the tray, like you would normally pop on a right lash. You're going to take it and just sort of flip it so that it's going out this way. The same direction that your actual lashes on your eye would grow, you want to do it that way. So if you get them mixed up and you don't know which one was right or left, make sure it's going the same direction, sort of out this way like you would for your natural lashes, and make sure the shorter end or the inner corner is in the right direction. It's not longer in the inner corner. And all you would do really is just take them, and I'll just position them so you can see. I use a pair of tweezers for this because this is a little bit harder to do. I have my bottom lash. Remember, it is facing the right direction. The inner corner is the new inner corner. The right lash becomes the left lash because you flip it over. And I'll just go through the motion so you can see how to put it on. You want to make sure there's glue on it, obviously. And take it with tweezers and just tuck it underneath your real lashes. Tuck it underneath your real lashes and place it. And just kind of move it around. Really great for costume makeup, if you want to do something like that, and just press it into your eye. Now you can see where my skin is and where the lash is. That's why a lot of times you'll see people put a really heavily lined sort of black liner, either a smoky liner or sort of a graphic liner underneath, because it's going to blend the actual lash with your lash line. And it also is really important to know that if you put a really heavy bottom lash on, which this is obviously not the ideal bottom lash because it's a little bit big, make sure your top lash is bigger. You never want to drag your eye down with a really heavy sort of bottom lash. Make sure the top lash is a little bit bigger. And just go ahead and like press it into the eye. The good thing about this is it doesn't have to be up super, super close to the lash line because most likely it's for sort of costume makeup. Okay, so that's all you need to know about putting a bottom lash on. I'm just going to go ahead and take this off because I didn't glue it down. Okay, so one of the last things you guys talk about is removing lashes. So I really like these and I want to keep these on, so I'm not going to take them off. But if you did want to at the end of the night, of course, all you have to do is take your fingernail, and if you don't have long fingernails, you can sort of use the back of a brush and just sort of like pull at it from the inner corner and just gently take them off. For some reason, I find that if I pull from the outer corner, it sort of hurts a little bit because I have little fine lashes on the outer corner. It could just be me, but just take it and just sort of pull from the inner corner and they should come right off. If they don't come off, I wouldn't use waterproof makeup remover or anything with oil in it, because if you have sort of a synthetic mink lash or something really, really soft like a silk lash, it might ruin the lash and weigh them down. Use a cleansing water or a non-waterproof eye makeup remover and just take a Q-tip and just sort of rub it until it sort of comes off and the glue sort of separates from the lash, and then they're good. And then at the end of the night, you can sort of like pull off any excess glue just with your fingers, no tweezers, because you can accidentally rip your lash in half, and that is it. So here I am with my 2 different lashes that I actually super love. So I would say start from my original lash video. It covers most of the basics. It stays pretty easy, and it's a really great way to get started. Then once you have that, then reference this again and kind of add some tips and tricks in on how to stack lashes, how to choose lashes, and all that. And remember, the only way to know what we're doing is to subscribe so you see all our new videos right away, and make sure you leave comments below and ask us whatever you want. Until next time, bye guys.